Ladies and gentlemen, today I invite you to awaken a fire that already burns within you, the fire of purpose, vision, and destiny. The difference between the average and the fortunate is not luck, nor is it privilege. It is mindset, action, and unwavering belief. Your mind is the starting point of everything you will ever achieve. It is the workshop of your destiny, the place where your thoughts are forged into beliefs and beliefs are forged into action. What you allow to dominate your mind eventually dominates your life. The tragedy is that most people never truly understand the creative power they hold within. They live as prisoners to external circumstances, never realizing that the conditions of their lives are merely reflections of the conditions of their thoughts. If you think in limitations, you will act in hesitation. If you think in possibilities, you will act in courage. Whatever you impress upon your mind, consistently and emotionally, you will begin to manifest in your world. The human mind is like a fertile garden. It will grow whatever you plant. If you plant seeds of fear, doubt, and mediocrity, do not be surprised when your life yields frustration, struggle, and regret. But if you plant thoughts of abundance, strength, and purpose, your outer world will begin to align with your inner reality. Everything that has ever been created, every invention, every breakthrough, every empire, was first born in the invisible realm of the mind. The fortunate understand this truth. They guard their thoughts like a fortress. They do not allow negative influences, opinions, or temporary failures to take root. They know that one toxic idea repeated enough can paralyze progress. So instead, they condition their minds every single day. They read with intention. They visualize with clarity. They affirm with conviction. And most of all, they choose their thoughts the way a sculptor chooses their tools. Carefully, deliberately, and with purpose. This is not just theory, it is law. Just as gravity pulls you down, your dominant thoughts pull your life in their direction. Think long enough that you are powerless, and soon you will behave as if it were true. Think long enough that you are powerful, capable, and deserving, and the world begins to reflect that belief back to you. Many people say they want success, but they dwell constantly on what could go wrong, what they lack, or what others might think. That contradiction ensures their results remain average. The mind does not produce what you casually wish for. It produces what you emotionally believe. That is why your job is not merely to hope for a better life, but to condition your mind to expect one. When your mind becomes a place of clarity, strength, and vision, your circumstances will have no choice but to follow. In the silence of thought, you hold a power greater than any external tool, the ability to build the life you see. You must become the architect of your thoughts before you become the architect of your fortune. Once your mind is aligned with your purpose, and your purpose is fed by unwavering thought, nothing, no setback, no opinion, no fear, can stop you from rising beyond average into the realm of greatness. The desire for something greater must be more than a wish, more than a fleeting thought. It must burn within you, relentless and consuming. This is not the kind of desire that quietly whispers. It roars. It keeps you awake at night. It wakes you before the sun rises. It refuses to let you settle for mediocrity. Without this kind of burning desire, your goals remain fantasies. But with it, even the most impossible ambitions begin to take shape in reality. The truth is, most people want more money, more freedom, more meaning. But their wanting is weak. It flickers like a candle in the wind. When challenges come, their so-called desire is snuffed out, replaced by excuses and distractions. But when your desire becomes an obsession, no setback can shake you, no delay can deter you. The world bends for the determined. This desire must be specific. A vague wish will never move mountains. It is not enough to say, I want success. You must define what success looks like, feels like, and why it matters. You must see it in your mind so clearly that it becomes more real than your current reality. The mind clings to clear images and rejects confusion. So make your desire sharp, make it vivid, and then let that vision ignite a fire that fuels every action you take. Desire, when it is strong enough, becomes the source of energy you didn't know you had. You stop hitting snooze. You stop negotiating with fear. You stop waiting for perfect timing. That kind of desire overrides comfort and pushes you into motion even when you're tired, even when you're scared, even when you've failed before. It becomes your engine. The average person looks at effort as a burden. The person with desire sees it as a pathway, a privilege. You must also protect your desire. The world will try to water it down. People will tell you to be realistic. They'll suggest you settle for less, but they're not protecting your dream. They're projecting their limits. Never allow someone else's doubts to dilute your fire. Shield your desire from the influence of those who think small. And if you must walk alone for a while, walk proudly. Fortune favors the obsessed, not the casual. There will be days when your results don't match your efforts. That's when most give up. But if your desire is burning deep enough, you'll push through. Why? Because desire is not dependent on results. It's deeper. It's a decision, a commitment, a knowing that no matter how long it takes, no matter how many times you fall, you will rise. You will get there. You will have what you came for. Burning desire is the spark that ignites all achievement. Without it, effort feels empty. With it, every step becomes part of a larger story, your story. So feed that fire, fan it daily, let it grow until it drives you out of average and into the extraordinary. Faith is the unseen force that transforms thought into reality. It is the bridge between your dreams and their manifestation. Without faith, even the greatest ideas wither in the shadow of doubt. With it, you become unstoppable. Faith is not a soft, abstract concept. It is the strongest foundation upon which any lasting success is built. It is the deep, unshakable belief that what you desire is not only possible, but already yours in the realm of the unseen. To the average mind, faith seems irrational. It requires you to act as if the result is certain, even when no proof exists. Yet, but this is precisely why it is so powerful, faith gives your vision life. It tells the world, I am not waiting for conditions to be perfect, I am moving now. It is this kind of inner certainty that separates those who only dream from those who achieve. Faith is not passive, it is active, alive, and demanding. It must be fed daily with words, with vision, and with action. You must speak your goal aloud as if it has already happened. You must see it in your mind's eye with clarity. You must walk, talk, and move in alignment with it. Faith without action is fantasy. But when faith is fused with relentless motion, it becomes a creative force that shapes reality. Most people are prisoners of doubt. They believe more in their limitations than in their potential. They rehearse failure in their minds long before they ever try. Their faith is not in their dream, it's in the possibility of defeat. But faith, when rightly directed, is a weapon against every lie that says you can't, you won't, or you're not enough. It silences the inner critic, it pushes past fear, it chooses belief even when the odds are stacked high. Faith changes how you respond to adversity. When you are driven by fear, obstacles feel like stop signs. But when you move with faith, those same obstacles become stepping stones. You learn to see rejection as redirection, not the end. You begin to understand that delay is not denial. Faith teaches you to trust the process, to keep showing up even when you can't yet see the reward. Faith also demands consistency. It is not enough to believe one day and doubt the next. You must train your mind to stand firm, to stay locked in on the vision. This is why affirmations, visualization, and surrounding yourself with belief builders are so crucial. You are constantly feeding your mind something. Make sure it's aligned with what you want, not what you fear. Your belief must become so strong that others feel it when you walk in the room. So strong that when doors don't open, you create your own. So strong that you keep going even when the world calls you crazy, because eventually the world will call you brilliant, after your faith turns your dream into fact. Everything begins with belief. Everything is built by belief, and everything great is sustained by belief. Let your faith be the power that lifts you beyond average and carries you into your fortune. Action is the great separator. It is the line between those who wish and those who create, between the average and the fortunate. No dream, no matter how vivid or meaningful, can become real without action. You can think, plan, and visualize all day, but until you move, nothing changes. Action is the proof of belief. It is the demonstration that you are not just hoping for success, you are claiming it. The mistake many people make is waiting. They wait for the right moment, the perfect plan, or for everything to feel safe. But that moment never comes. There is no perfect time, only time that passes while you hesitate. The fortunate understand this. They take daily, ruthless action, not random, frantic movement, but intentional, focused steps toward their vision. They know that success is not built in a single leap, but through steady, persistent effort, repeated every single day. The power of action lies not just in doing something, it lies in doing the right things consistently. Small actions repeated with purpose become massive results. One call, one decision, one step might not look like much, but when done daily, compounded over weeks, months, and years, those actions separate those who live in potential from those who live in abundance. Fortune does not favor the one who knows the most, but the one who acts the most with purpose. Discipline is the engine behind action. Motivation may start you off, but discipline keeps you moving when the excitement fades. It's easy to act when you feel inspired, but true growth happens when you act even when you don't feel like it. When your body is tired, when your mind is full of doubt, and when the world isn't clapping for you, that's where the average fall away. That's where the fortunate press forward. And with every action you take, you become more. You build confidence, skill, and momentum. Your identity starts to shift. You stop seeing yourself as someone who wants change, and you begin to see yourself as someone who creates it. Each step forward reinforces your belief, fuels your desire, and strengthens your faith. Action is not just what you do, it is who you become. There will be resistance. The mind will whisper excuses. Fear will disguise itself as logic, but you must move anyway. Progress does not belong to the perfect. It belongs to the persistent. Take messy action, make mistakes, learn, adjust, keep going. Because clarity comes through movement, not sitting still. Opportunities show themselves to the one who's already in motion. Inaction is the slow death of potential. Action is the birthplace of transformation. Every time you choose to act, to make the call, write the plan, speak the idea, build the thing, you are chiseling away at average and carving your path toward fortune. One step at a time, day by day, relentlessly, and eventually what once seemed far off will be standing right in front of you because you had the courage to do what others only talk about. Persistence is the master key that unlocks the door to fortune. It is the trait that turns average effort into extraordinary results. It is the unseen force that keeps you going long after others have given up. While talent may give you a head start and opportunity may open a few doors, it is persistence that determines whether you cross the finish line. Most people stop too soon. They mistake delay for denial, challenge for failure, and resistance for a sign to turn back. But those who persist, those who keep pushing, adjusting, and rising, they are the ones who ultimately win. The path to anything worthwhile is never straight. It is filled with setbacks, failures, closed doors, and moments of deep doubt. That is not a sign to quit. It is a test. Life will challenge your commitment to your dream. It will ask you again and again, do you really want this? And your answer must be your action. Your persistence is your proof. Quitting is easy. The world is filled with people who started strong and faded away. But the ones who persist build legacies. They outlast the resistance. Persistence is not about perfection. It's not about getting it right every time. It's about showing up again and again, no matter what happened yesterday. You keep moving forward even if the steps are small, even if progress feels invisible. One more attempt, one more hour, one more solution. That's the mindset that leads to breakthroughs. Because often the moment you feel most like giving up is the moment just before everything changes. Most people never get to that moment because they stop at 99%. But those who persist see what the others never will. There is no failure for the persistent. There are only lessons. Each obstacle teaches. Each no redirects. Each delay refines your strategy. Persistence transforms problems into stepping stones. The more you push, the stronger you become. You develop resilience. You sharpen your focus. You discover new ways forward. That growth alone is more valuable than any temporary success. Because once you become someone who can persist through anything, you can achieve anything. Persistence also builds credibility, not just with others, but with yourself. Every time you choose not to quit, you prove to yourself that you are trustworthy, that you follow through, that you are not average. This internal trust becomes power. It becomes confidence. And that confidence fuels even greater persistence. It becomes a cycle of strength that compounds over time. The truth is, the universe often gives its greatest rewards to those who simply refuse to be denied. The ones who keep knocking until the door opens, who keep building when no one is watching, who keep showing up when it's hard, thankless, and uncertain. These are the people who rise. These are the people who win. So if you find yourself tired, doubting, or facing setbacks, good. That means you're on the right path. Now dig in, go deeper, persist. Because if you persist long enough, the world will have no choice but to make room for your success. You were not born to live an average life. Deep within you is the potential to create, to lead, to rise above the ordinary and build something truly extraordinary. But this power will not activate by chance. It awakens through awareness, intention, and courage. You must realize that the life you desire will never be handed to you. It must be claimed. You are not here to simply exist, to follow the crowd, or to fit neatly into expectations created by others. You are here to create a life that reflects the fire inside you, a life of purpose, freedom, and abundance. Too many people settle. They accept the limits placed on them by society, by their past, or by the fear living in their own minds. They walk through life playing small, convincing themselves that comfort is good enough. But comfort is the enemy of growth. And average is the cost of choosing comfort over courage. You must reject the idea that an average life is all you're meant for. That quiet frustration you feel when you're not living your full potential, that's not something to silence. That's your soul demanding more. Listen to it. Everything changes the moment you decide that you are no longer available for mediocrity. That decision is powerful. It shifts your energy, your thoughts, your actions. Suddenly you no longer tolerate excuses, procrastination, or weak commitments. You become someone who moves with intention, who takes risks, who says no to what no longer serves you. Because you understand that your time is valuable, your mind is powerful, and your life is your responsibility. You don't need permission to level up. You don't need everyone to understand or agree. The fortunate, the successful, the fulfilled, they are not waiting to be chosen. They choose themselves. They rise because they believe they can. They build because they refuse to accept less than what they are capable of. And you must do the same. You must look in the mirror and declare, this is not where my story ends. I'm just getting started. Living above average doesn't mean chasing money or status. It means choosing to live fully, intentionally, and unapologetically. It means creating goals that challenge you, environments that elevate you, and habits that strengthen you. It means surrounding yourself with those who push you to be more, not those who keep you small. It means living with vision, acting with discipline, and speaking with conviction. You were not made to fit in. You were made to stand out. And perhaps most importantly, it means refusing to let fear run your life. Fear will always be there, but so will courage. The difference between the average and the fortunate is which one they listen to. So choose courage, choose belief, choose action, choose to rise. You have everything you need to build a life of fortune, not just in wealth, but in fulfillment, freedom, and legacy. All that's required is for you to stop dimming your light and start owning your power, because you were never meant to be average. You were born to be exceptional.